Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Sneha for CELPIP and IELTS, and in today's video we are going to discuss some more types of questions that are asked in IELTS reading. So whether you're preparing for academic IELTS or GT IELTS, now this type of question, it's common to both of them. So today we are going to focus on flowchart types of question that you people would have often find in the reading section of IELTS. Now flowchart types of questions, these are nothing but fill in the blanks. So that is like another fancy name for these fill in the blanks. It's just that the blanks here in these types of question, they are given in the form of a flowchart. That's it. Those of you who do not know what a flowchart is, so it's like pieces of information given in the form of a flow diagram. So there is this one sentence, then there is an arrow, it leads to another information, then there is another arrow, then there is third piece of information, and so on. And within these sentence, there will be like fill in the blanks given to you. So whatever strategies are useful for fill in the blanks in general, that strategy is going to work in these types of questions as well. And we'll be talking about the strategies that we'll use in this type of question. Before we do that, let's have a look at these types of question and how they're going to look like in your examination. So now whether you're preparing for IELTS GT or your IELTS academic, there will be a text given to you, and on the basis of the text, there will be like questions given in the form of a flow chart, as you can see over here. There is this first piece of information which leads to another piece of information, which leads to third piece of information, and so on. And within these boxes, you can see these are the questions that you have to solve. And as you can see that these are in the form of fill in the blanks everywhere, right? So this is what you have to do. Now, talking about the strategies that you have to follow in these types of question. So one really important skill that's going to work for these questions is scanning. You people should use scanning. And how do we apply it in this particular question type? That's what I'm going to discuss with you today. Now what happens is, as I said, there is this text that's given to you, as you can see it on the left side of the screen, and then there are these questions based on this text. So what you'll be doing, you will not waste your time reading the entire text in the beginning. Do not do that. Straight away come to the questions. So you come to at question number 1 straight away as soon as you see this question type on the screen in your examination. Straight away come to the very first question. Read the question, identify the keywords. It is an early start for the first client. You may have to help the client get up and rest if they have a dash that makes this challenging. So now here, if I want to identify my keywords, those will be the main words that will help me find the answer, right? So my keywords here would be early start, first client, help, get up, dressed, challenging. And I'll be searching for these keywords in the text. Now, when I say that you have to search for keywords, so you'll be doing this thing that you'll be searching for these exact words. You will also be searching for any synonym or any closely associated words. So you'll be searching for them all, not only the exact words. That is what you have to keep in mind, first of all. And then once you think you have located the keyword or the keywords, read around those keywords to the correct answer. Now, when I talk about the answer that you have to fill here, make sure that here you must use the exact word from the text. Do not replace it with any other word or any synonym on your own. If the text says that the word is paper, you have to write paper here only. You should not even be changing its form. For example, if it's paper, you'll write paper. If it's papers, then you're going to write papers. So you have to write exact word as there is in the passage. That is something that you have to remember for sure. Then be very mindful about the instructions given in these types of questions, because there is no option to choose from, right? You don't have any option given for these questions. You have to select the word from the text and fit it here within the text, within the blank, right? So you have to be very careful about the instructions over here, because if you do not follow the instructions, your answer will be marked wrong. For example, here the instruction very clearly says that you have to choose one word only from the text for each answer. If you use more than a word for these questions, your answer will be marked wrong. Doesn't matter whether you included the correct word or not, it will be marked wrong. For example, let's say your answer was car and you wrote a car. The instruction says one word only, but you wrote two words, a and car. It will be marked wrong. So you have to follow the instructions very carefully. And then the strategy that's going to work for you is following the order. In fill in the blanks, doesn't matter whatever type of fill in the blank it's there in your exam. If you see a fill in the blank, please follow the order of the passage for the order of the questions. That means your questions, they will be there in the same order as the text, which means information for question number 15 will be earlier than the information for question number 16. Only then you will find information for question number 17. Only then you will find information for question number 18 and so on. So let's say you found your information for question number 15 over here. For question number 16, you will be reading from the very next word, that's here, from here. You will not read for question number 16 from the beginning. So do not waste your time rereading the text from the very beginning. You know that order of the text and order of the questions, these are same. So let's say now your answer for question number 16 is over here. For question number 17, then you'll be reading from the very next word. So again, do not go to the beginning of the text for your question number 17. So you have to keep this strategy in mind. It is a time saver for you, because each and every second in IELTS, it's going to be, really like you have to be, your best when it comes to time management. You have to value each and every second, right? So this is the perfect strategy that will help you do exactly that. It is going to help you with time management for sure. So these are some of the things that you need to keep in mind. These are the, I would say hacks that work perfectly in this IELTS exam. If you really want to manage your time better and you want to make sure that you are able to catch the most of the questions correct, you have to follow them. So with these in mind, let's begin with the discussion of this flow chart over here. Now, as we just discussed that we will be reading the question directly instead of reading the text in the beginning. So come to question number 1. Identify the keywords, search for the keywords in the text and fill the exact word from the text as the answer. So you'll be scanning the text for the keywords. So let's do that. It is an early start for the first client. You may have to help the client get up and dressed if they have a dash that makes this challenging. So my keywords are early start, first client, help the client, get up, dressed, and challenging, right? I'll be searching for these keywords in the text. Start scanning the text. Scanning the text means you have to move your eyes very quickly from the beginning of the text, searching for these keywords or synonyms or closely associated terms. So when I look at the text, I have some of the keywords over here in this paragraph. You see, start early, first client, help getting out of bed and putting on their clothes, prevents them from doing this easily. So isn't it the same information that's there in the question? These are nothing but paraphrase terms, right? We have paraphrasing. Meaning is still the same. So definitely you have this information over here. Once you have located the keywords, now you have to fit that one word that will be there as your answer. So what is that one thing that makes getting up, getting dressed for the clients challenging? That we have to find. It clearly says that they may suffer from a condition that prevents them from doing this easily. So what is that one thing that prevents them from doing this? That is condition, right? So this is going to be your answer. And since you can only write one word, your answer would be condition. You're going to fill the same word from the text following the instruction. So this is going to be your answer. And since I found my answer for question number 15 here, now when I come to question number 16, for this one, I am going to read from here. I'm not going to waste my time reading from the very beginning of the text. So you have to learn time management. So now, again, we do the same thing, identify the keywords. The next task may be cooking breakfast, and it's nice to have some dash at this time. Again, next task, this is the keyword, breakfast, this is the keyword. And it's nice to have something at this time. So now we look for these keywords. Start scanning from here. So I have my keyword over here, cook breakfast for the client. And this is often a good time to enjoy a conversation and catch up on how they are feeling. So what, according to the text, is the time of breakfast a good time for something? So it clearly says that this is often a good time to enjoy a conversation, right? And catch up on how they are feeling. So this must be your answer, but you can only select one word. So what will be that one word? And it's nice to have some. Now, you have to match what fits with this part. So, out of these, conversation and catch up on how they are feeling, out of these two, what makes more sense with this part? To have some conversation or to have some catch up? The answer would be conversation, right? So here I am going to write that it's nice to have some conversation at this time. So you have to, think like what fits the best as well, right? So this is something that you have to think very logically, all right? Now let's come to the next question. It says that it may be a good idea to do some housework after this, such as dash and washing up. So now we are talking about housework, such as something that we have to find, and one more thing is given, and that is washing up. So we'll be searching for these keywords now. Again, we'll start searching from here for this question. No need to go to the beginning of the text. So now this says housework. Do you see this keyword over here, housework, right? So next, the care worker may take the opportunity to do some basic housework for the client. Housework is often something that elderly people or people with disabilities may not be able to do themselves. even something as simple as hoovering the living room can make a huge difference to a client's stay. Of course, there may be breakfast dishes to do as well. Now try to match the keywords. We have the word housework, then it talks about breakfast dishes to do. That means we are talking about washing up. So this is one housework that has been mentioned, right? Again, the words are not exactly the same, but yes, we have closely associated words, right? Now we have to find the other thing that's done as housework that's given here in the text. And the other thing is hovering the living room. This is another housework that's given in the text, right? And since you can only use one word from the text, so the answer would be the housework would be hoovering, such as hoovering and washing up. So this is going to be your answer. I hope things are clear so far. Then we come to the next question. It says, you may then visit a second client and help them get a lunch ready. So now we are talking about second client. This is our keyword, and then lunch is another keyword. So now we start searching from here for the next question. So it says later in the morning, the care worker may move on to another client. So yes, we are talking about second client, another client, in order to help them prepare their midday meal. So yes, we are talking about midday meal, and midday meal is nothing but lunch, right? So it's paraphrasing, as you can see. Then it says care workers try to ensure this is healthy because it is so important to keep clients fit and well. And care workers, they have to make sure that the midday meal, that is the lunch, is healthy. Now what should come here? Here you need to have a hint, and the hint is this lunch is a noun. Before that there is space, and then there is this article. So going by this logic, I know that I have to fit one adjective over here, because whenever there is an article and then there is a noun, for example, a boy, so there will be some quality of the boy that's there. So it can be a smart boy, right? So in the same way, I know that I have to fit one adjective over here, and the adjective that I see in relation to lunch here is healthy. That the lunch should be healthy, and that will be my answer. And help them get a healthy lunch ready. So this is how you have to think, how you have to use the information from the text. Then the next question says, lunch may be followed by some dash. So lunch followed by something that we have to find. Again, we start reading from here, scan the keywords. So when that's finished, the care worker may help the client to carry out their shopping by going with them to the local supermarket. When that is finished, that here refers to midday meal, lunch. So when lunch is done, the care worker may help the client to carry out their shopping. So what's the next thing that's following the lunch according to the text? That is shopping. So that will be your answer, that lunch may be followed by some shopping. After that, there is this sentence which says, afterwards, a third client may need help with an activity that involves going out of their home, such as doing their dash. So now we are talking about third client. Third client over here. You scan for the keywords, it's written over here, right? So we have the information. Now what is that one activity that the third client may need help with? That we have to find, right? It says such as doing their something. So we have to find the activity that the third client might need help with. And we have the keywords outdoor activity, activity that involves going out of their home. So it's paraphrasing. which could involve going for a short walk in the local area or taking the laundry to the laundrette. So after that, they have mentioned two activities. Number one is short walk and number two is laundry. So now we have to see what fits over here. So when we read this part, such as doing their, what do you think fits with this part? Doing their walk or doing their laundry? Doing their laundry fits, right? So again, you have to think a bit logical. So this will be the answer. And in the last question, it says, you may cook. Oh, it's not a question. It's just another statement given. So you need not read it because you have already solved the questions, right? Still, I'm going to read it out. You may cook dinner with the final client of the day and also remind them about their medication. So now this information was over here, though there is no question to solve, so we're going to leave it over here only. All right, so remember, this is how you have to solve flowchart types of question. You'll have to scan for the keywords, synonyms, closely associated words, follow the instructions very carefully, scan the text for the keywords, use the exact word from the text as your answer. Do not change its form. And this is how you solve flowchart types of question which are there in your IELTS academic as well as GT. So I hope you liked today's videos, and I'll be coming with many more videos for you people. I will be coming with many more concepts for you. We'll be discussing many more question types, other modules of IELTS as well in our upcoming videos. So keep following my channel, subscribe to my channel, like my videos, share them with whosoever needs them, and I'll be meeting you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.